Have you been out in the marketplace attempting to make sales and everybody's saying no? That was my experience when I first got started in selling. In fact, I got started selling financial services, and for the first 18 months, I did not make a single solitary sale. Presentation after presentation after presentation after presentation. So if you are not right now making sales and people are saying no more than they're saying yes, and you just can't figure out how to break through, this video is for you. 8 reasons, the real reasons people don't buy from you. Okay, what are they? Reason number 1 is they don't believe you. And the reason they don't believe you is because the way you're presenting your message is telling them not to believe you. What does that even mean? Well, people don't see you through their eyes. They see you through your eyes. What does that mean? There's a verse in Proverbs that says, as in water, face answereth to face, so doth the heart of a man to a man. What does that mean? It means just like when you look in some water, you see a reflection of your face. When you're talking to another human being, you're reflecting to them who to see you as. And so what we have to do is, if we want other people to believe us, we have to start believing ourselves, which means if you got started selling the thing you're selling just so you can make money, and you don't believe in the thing, and you don't believe in the result, and you don't believe it can help them, they're gonna pick up on that vibe. And one of the principles that I love to operate by, and I always trust this, is you can lie with your words, but your energy always tells the truth. And so if you don't believe in your product and you don't believe in the result it can create, then you are literally with your energy telling them not to believe you. Now, maybe the reason you don't believe is because you don't believe in the product or you don't believe in yourself. Maybe the reason you don't believe is because they can't trust you because you can't trust you. And maybe you can't trust you because you've broken your word to yourself so many times in the past, you can't believe a word you say. And so what people do is they go through life making choices and they think they're making decisions. And there's a difference between a choice and a decision, because to decide means, de means of or from, side means to cut. So when I make a decision, I'm cutting myself off from any other possibility than the one that I've determined. That's a decision. What does choose mean? Choose means pick one. And so I can pick one today and I can change the one I pick tomorrow. But when I make a decision, it doesn't work like that. A decision is permanent. It's real. Now, if you changed your mind because you never made a decision in the first place. So they don't believe. That's the one reason they don't buy. Number 2, they don't understand. And the reason they don't understand is because, as my daughter loves to say, and I love to quote her on this, the biggest mistake in communication is thinking that it happened. And so you think they heard what you thought you said. But the reality is they heard what they heard regardless of what you said. And sometimes they don't understand because your communication is not clear. Sometimes they don't understand because my communication is not clear. But sometimes they don't understand simply because when you're talking to people, they run the words that you're using through their filter and then translate it via their past experiences. So you say something to them and it reminds them of something that happened in the past. And now they're literally taking that experience and then overlaying it on top of the conversation you're having, listening to what you're saying, translating it into what they think it means. And they think they heard you and you think they heard you, but they actually heard themselves translating your words into their language. And they don't understand. And because they don't understand, they can't buy. A confused mind always says no. So you have to make sure you do everything in your power to make it clear. It's interesting how many people I hear talk and they use words that they assume everybody knows what they mean. But the people you're talking to may have the same words in their vocabulary, but they have a different dictionary. That's why it's very imperative, if you're selling, if you're communicating, that when you talk to people and you bring up a subject, even if it's one that everybody should know what this means, define the words so everybody stays on the same page. Even if it's a word that's simple, and then stay away from buzzwords and technobabble and industry jargon. What is that? Mental health, trauma. I help people overcome their trauma. You say trauma, and you mean they got in an argument with their mother, but when they hear trauma, they think back to the time they were in a war zone and bombs were dropping all around them. And you think you're talking about the same thing. You can't be talking about the same thing. Like, stay away from industry jargon. Like, I hear people say, like, so if I hear somebody talk about sales and they say, well, this is how you sell without being salesy, I don't even want to listen to that person because I already know when they say that, they don't understand sales. Because what they really mean when they say that is how to sell without begging, how to sell without pushing, how to sell without convincing. But they don't say that. They say without being salesy. But see, the reason people resort to begging, pushing, and convincing is because they failed to sell. So what they're calling salesy is actually the opposite of being salesy. When you're salesy, when you're actually salesy, you're empowering people to make a decision they already desired to make before they ever met you. I don't go into a shoe store because I want to buy a car, right? I go into a shoe store. Well, I don't really go to stores. But when I used to go to stores and I went into a shoe store, I would go because I desired to buy some shoes, right? So a salesperson that comes up and says, can I help you? Well, that's a bad question, right? And they say no. Well, they don't know where the shoes are. You do. Maybe a better question, I have a vision. Like if I worked in a shoe store, I would say, I have a vision of shoes that would make your feet look like models' feet. What do you have in mind for your feet today? And how can I help you find them? That's a much better question, right? I just recently saw some shoes that if they were on your feet, they'd make you look like you stepped off the cover of GQ magazine. But what can I help you find today, right? And so you paint a picture with your words. Instead of using industry jargon, paint a word picture, hang it on the corridor of their mind, so when they walk past it, they have to think of you. So they don't believe you. They don't understand. They smell commission breath. What's commission breath? That's when you are so desperate to make a sale that other people can smell your desperation. That's known in the sales industry as commission breath. And so what's really interesting about human nature is people don't desire what's too readily available to them, but they feel like they must have the thing that's just out of reach. When you lean in, they lean out. When you lean out, they lean in. Give you a perfect example. Boy meets girl. Boy's crazy about girl. Girl thinks boy is creepy. All the ladies laugh because they know, right? Boy meets girl. Girl's crazy about boy. Boy thinks girl is crazy. Why? Because, like, why are you crazy about me? See, I know me. Why are you crazy about me, right? Something's wrong with you. And you got to understand, it's human nature. You're not going to fix it, so you might as well not fight it. So if that's the case, now watch this. Boy meets girl, acts like he's not interested, and then acts like she's the problem. Now she's interested in boy. Why? Because people desire what they can't have. It's human nature. So when you're selling, make sure you're operating from a place of understanding that you are the one with the goods. So you don't have commission breath. And don't have a desire, don't be married to your desire for them to say yes. I don't really care what they say. Like, it literally matters not. I don't care if I'm selling one-on-one, if I'm selling one-on-many. Here's what I know. I know there are people out there who desire the result that I can produce. And if they say yes, I say congratulations. If they say no, I say congratulations. Either way, I'm good with it. I'm so cool with it, I don't want to fool with it. Stop trying to get people to buy. Stop looking for people to sell your stuff to. Make yourself more findable for people who already desire to buy what you already desire to sell. See, you know, comment in the comments. Make a statement in the comments. You know if there are things already you right now have on your list of things, when I get the money, I'm buying this. Name what that thing is in the comments, because you know I'm telling the truth. Well, the person who sells that thing, when you come up with the money and you're in their presence, how hard do they have to work? Here's the answer. Not very. Well, what if there were thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of people in the world who would already love to buy what you'd already love to sell if they only knew you existed? Would you be attempting to turn a no into a yes, or would you just make yourself more findable for all the yeses out there? So they smell commission breath, so they don't buy. And I don't buy from people with commission breath because I don't want to be the solution to your problem. In fact, I should only be selling to you when I know I'm the solution to yours. Let that one grow on you. They don't see the need. One of the reasons people don't see the need is because people who are obnoxious in sales are obnoxious because they think everybody needs this. Other than food, oxygen, and water, pretty much some clothing, there's nothing else that everybody needs. So if you think everybody needs your stuff because it's that great, you are delusional. Okay, so they don't see the need. What else? Next reason people don't buy is they don't believe it's worth the money. Now, I know, here's what happens. Most people, when people aren't buying, the first thing they do is they start lowering the price because they think the price is too high. It's not that the price is too high, it's that the value is too low. And when I say the value is too low, I'm not even talking about the intrinsic value of the offer. I'm talking about the perceived value of the offer. Because offers have two values. They have the intrinsic value, that's the utilitarian value, and then they have the perceived value. That's the status value, right? That is the felt value. And people will pay more for a higher perceived value than they will for a higher intrinsic value. Like a car is a car is a car is a car. So why are some cars $30,000 and some cars $300,000? Why? Well, because the $300,000 car has a higher perceived value. The tires are not more round than the tires on the $30,000 car. The air conditioner is not much colder. The car's probably faster, but we have speed limits. So what difference does that make? And so it's like, how does Louis Vuitton sell an imitation leather belt for $795? Because they pack it with perceived value. Louis Vuitton has persuaded millions of people to believe that if you put my initials on your clothing or your handbag or your wallet, it makes you more valuable. What? So they don't see the value. They don't believe it's worth the money. And the only way to help them see that it's worth the money is for you to uncover more value. And I did a whole video on how to increase the perceived value of your offers, or of your products. So you can go watch that video. Released it a couple weeks ago. Okay, so they don't believe it's worth the money. They haven't counted the cost. This is when you have somebody in front of you, and this product is a product that would absolutely benefit their family or their person, but they say no. Why? Because you showed them how much it cost if they say yes, but you failed to show them how much it cost if they say no. When people ask you, well, how much is it? You assume you know what they mean, and you tell them the price. When somebody asks me how much is it, I always say, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you asking me how much it costs if you say yes, or are you asking me how much it costs if you say no? And I let them tell me which answer they're looking for. And guess what? If they say, well, I want to know how much it costs if I say yes. Great. I'm going to tell you that, but first I'm going to tell you how much it's going to cost if you say no. Why? Because you should never reveal price before uncovering value, because if you do, the answer is always no. It doesn't even matter if it's something like this video. What did I do? I uncovered the value. I'm going to show you the 8 reasons people don't buy. What did I do? I uncovered the value first. Now, if I only show you 6 reasons, the number 1 comment I'm going to get in the comments is, where are the other 2 reasons? What are the other 2 reasons, right? Because I said 8, and people are taking notes, and they're like, okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. Okay, there are 3 more, right? What did I do? I uncovered the value before I revealed the price. And now, clearly people will be able to see on YouTube how long this video is before they start watching it. But anyway, they haven't counted the cost. You revealed the value. You revealed the price before you revealed the value. So that's 2 separate ones. They haven't counted the cost. That's number 6. You revealed the price before you revealed the value. And the last one's going to blow your mind. This is probably the biggest sales mistake anybody who sells anything ever makes. Matter of fact, I think I should turn it into a course and sell it to you. Just kidding. Okay, so they didn't participate in your presentation. People do things for their reasons, not yours. If you do a sales presentation as a monologue, you are almost forcing people not to buy. What you have to do is you have to learn how to lead and pace a conversation. What does that even mean? Number one, you have to ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of what? Ask a lot of questions. And then when you ask a question, wait for an answer. Wait for a what? Wait for an answer. You want to make statements and ask them to repeat it. If you're doing a presentation on a Zoom and you make a statement, you ask them to repeat it in the chat. You say, okay, type in the chat, yes. Type in the chat, okay. Type in the chat, I'm in. Get people responding to you. The more they do and the more they say, when you are selling to them, the more likely they are to buy. The less they say and the less they do, the less likely they are to buy what you are selling, period. And I see people do presentations all the time, and it's a monologue. By the way, this is one of the main reasons I can go, it's not the only reason, but it's one of the main reasons I can go in and do a repitch for somebody after they make their offer to their people who love them, and their people don't even know me, and I can stand up and do almost as many, somewhere between half as many and as many sales as they did to their audience after they thought, man, I just made all the sales in the room. No, you didn't. And one of the main reasons is because you were talking to them, I was talking with them. It'll change the game. You'll increase your revenue. It doesn't matter if you're selling cars, houses, insurance, courses, it doesn't matter. The more they say, the more they do, the more likely they are to buy. If you will follow these principles, I promise you, your sales will increase in multiples, probably 100, 200, 300% over what they are right now, maybe even more. So I trust that this video helped you. Those are the 8 reasons people don't buy your stuff. Fix any of them, your sales will improve. Fix all of them, your sales will improve drastically. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.